Alright, to get the front sight mounted onto this securely, how I like to do it is I use the front sight, a couple of screws left over from modding, go to Home Depot or whatever you'd like, just, you know, some smaller size screws. And then some 2-part epoxy. What we're going to be focusing on the most is at the front of the foregrip, how there's this cavity right in here. And ultimately we're going to pretty much be making sure that this goes on. We're going to have some screws actually screwed in to the back of the foregrip, so it'll look, you know, like that. And those screws that will be put onto the back will be insert. They'll actually fit right into this cavity. Let's just say, as for visual, they'll go right in there, which will be filled up with epoxy and will hold the sight in place. So you want to take your front sight, put it in, and kind of eyeball where your screw is going to have to go. Line up the little mark you made with the line, and you can see pretty much that this line that's going down the front sight lines up perfectly with this, which is the open cavity. So you know that you could put your screw right behind that line. Alright, so pretty much we took these 2 screws left over from making different mods and stuff, but you can get some from Home Depot, put them on the back side of this front sight, and we're going to fill this area up at the top up with the strong 2-part epoxy we use. It's going to be completely full, so that when we insert these screws into it, just imagine that that gap is full of epoxy right now. The epoxy is going to envelop those screws and cure around them, and so this won't be able to move, budge, anything. That's going to be set in place. And then we're going to clean up this little gap around here, just a little bit of epoxy, Bondo, sand it, paint it, and then we'll pretty much be done. Okay, we are almost there. I miscut at the beginning, and I cut this huge hole down at the bottom, much wider than it needed to be. So the same as how we filled this area up, I just cut a piece of tape, put it right inside the bore for the barrel, and then wrapped it around so it would be used as a backing for some more epoxy to fill up this gap. The same as how we filled this area up. Alright, you can see now how I've taken the epoxy and smeared it right up into that hole where I miscut at the beginning. And the tape on the back side is right up against it, so that's holding it in place until it dries. And it'll dry pretty nice and flush there. We'll go over that with just a little bit of Bondo, some sandpaper, and then hit it with some paint. Alright, I have applied the Bondo to the front sight, around the seams, where all the joints are, and in about 15 minutes it's going to be dry. I'll come back, sand it, paint it, and let you guys see, and the foregrip's going to be finished. Okay, the foregrip is completely finished and painted. You can see right here the epoxy and the Bondos work pretty good on that bottom part. You can't really tell that there was a huge gaping hole down on the bottom. And also right here where there was the hole, that cleaned up nicely too. Has a nice profile on top, back, and because we used the back portion of the XP5 foregrip, it fits perfectly onto the X7. And just hit it with some flat black paint and some flat clear coat. And there you go. Okay, and here is a picture so you could see the size and overall length of the foregrip. There is a picture of the foregrip on an X7 with a 14-inch barrel. You could see that you have about probably about 3.5 inches of clearance at the end of the foregrip to the tip of the barrel. So it actually has a nice look to it. That's 14 inches, and here it is on the Euro thumbhole sniper stock, and with one of our heavy mags. And so that's what it looks like on the marker.